Well, hi and welcome to my channel. Now today's video is not a Premiere Pro tutorial. It's just about how I go about editing my videos to make sure that they're under 20 minutes, because I don't have the perfect voice. For people that do have that beautiful voice that everyone wants to listen to and they hang on to every word, they can make their videos as long as they want because they know the audience won't drop out. But for us mere mortals that don't have those talents, we have to make our videos as short as possible, not letting them go over 20 minutes if we can possibly do it, to keep our audience watching our videos all the way through. Now what I'm going to show you in this video are things that I've worked out for myself. I haven't learnt these from other people. I've just used my own creativity and my own imagination. So I want you to do that as well. But I want to help you out, get you started, speed things up. So all the cuts that I'm going to make, everything I'm going to tell you, I've worked it out myself. Now I'm 100% positive that this is what they do in production, big production movies, all that sort of thing. So I haven't invented it, but I've worked it out myself. Anyway, waffling on. So that's what we're going to look at cutting out today. Waffle. Bits that aren't really necessary to leave into a video. So let's get started with my techniques right from the start. So I bring all my film clips into Premiere Pro, put them into a folder. Then individually, I start them with a start and a finish. And then I'll place them all on my timeline. Then straight away, I put color grade and I check the audio and do any tweaking there if I need to. Because each individual clip could be cut up into 5 clips, taking out bits and pieces that are unnecessary to be in there. So if we do that after we've done the cuts, our editing, then we've made work a hell of a lot harder. It's going to take twice as long, 3 times, 5 times as long. So if we do it from the start, then we're going to be right. All right, so let's go back to the individual clip and I'll give it a start. So I'll cut out all the rubbish at the start of it, listen right through to the end, find the end and cut that off. Now, as I've been doing this, listening to the clip. So I'm not listening to my voice. I'm listening to the words that I'm saying and looking for potential pieces that I could cut out to make this video flow properly, but also keep it as short as possible as well. So I'll come back to that later on after I've laid out all the videos, how I want them to run on my timeline. Right, so I've already finished this video to go out onto YouTube, but after I finished it and listened to it, thought, yep, that's right, I'm happy with that, finish it off. I went out for a walk out into the bush. While I was out there, I came across a bird nesting, starting to build its nest. So I thought, oh, actually, this might be more interesting than another part that I had in there. So even though it was all finished, I thought, yep, I want this piece in. I know it's going to cause a big hassle to fit it in, because it's probably going to be a bit longer than the other part that was in there. But anyway, so that's where we're going to start from. I've put these 3 clips in. Now it's time to hack them to pieces, because my timeline now is 25 minutes, where before I was 19 minutes. A slightly comfortable amount of time. But let's have a look at how I'm going to cut this down to get it to where we can, have a good workflow, cut out the rubbish and the unnecessary things. So what we're going to concentrate on is this first clip here with me talking. And I have a spot that I've already worked out where I'm going to cut But anyway, let's just play it and have a listen. On the right angle and fire it from here, 10 meters away. It's awesome. So let me show you where the camera is and where then building the nest. Right. So there's my camera just there. So we'll stop right here. Now that bit of me actually turning the camera away from myself to show where my video camera is, we can cut that out and it'll actually improve the actual flow of the clip as well. Because we're looking for places where we can shorten things down. That's the sort of thing that I'm looking for to cut out to help us out. Right, keep playing it. Hard up against that tree fern and come across to here. That is the nesting site just there. So come back a little bit, about 2 to 3 meters away from that big fern tree there is a little bush. It's a prickly currant bush. It's about that high, about a metre and a bit high. So it's in between that fern tree and these bracken in front of me here. So there's another place that we can make a cut. Because I've pointed to where the nest is. And I could put an arrow there and then cut the clip after that. There's no need for me to leave in my waffle on about pointing out exactly where that nest is, saying, oh, go off that fern tree in the background, come across here. There's no need for it. We can cut that out. So that's what I'm going to do, and also cut out the swing back to me when I turn the camera back on myself. So we can cut that whole lot out. Just go from my finger pointing to the subject. I'll put an arrow on there. I'll make one up, pointing exactly where it is at the end of my finger. That'll explain everything. There's no need for us to go on about it anymore. And then there's a transition straight back to me speaking to the camera. We are going to cut this down so much just doing that, those two little bits. Is and where then building the nest. So there's my camera just there, hard up against that tree fern, and come across to here. That is the nesting site just there. So you've got to be really quiet, inconspicuous. So it's worked out really well. I'm still telling the story. There's a nice flow there. We've cut out a lot of crap, unnecessary stuff. And this is what it's all about. It's about making the tough choices. You personally might really want to keep it in, but you have to say to yourself, honestly, say to yourself, if I cut that out, is it really going to matter? Would it make for better viewing for the viewers? And if the answer is yes, take it out. Got to be tough on yourself. Sometimes you have to make the tough choices. And once you get used to all this process of listening to your clips, listening to the words that you're saying, identifying places where you're pretty sure you can cut that out with it working properly without disturbing the story that you're telling and possibly improving it. And then later on, as we're just doing now, cutting out a lot of waffle, unnecessary waffle that just doesn't need to be in there. You'll get used to all this, become natural. So it'll take a while, take a fair while, take quite a few videos to get used to doing this, and eventually you'll get better and better and better at it, identifying what you need to cut out. Right, so let's continue. And I said that she's put some dried grassy material onto that bit of spider. So I have my story all set out there of why I'm there for. Now it's time to introduce the footage that I have of the bird coming in with a bit of nesting material in its mouth, and it puts it into the nest. So I need to make a start and an end. So that this video can keep flowing and not going too long, I'm going to just have it where the bird just flies in. So I think it's unnecessary to leave in the bit where the bird flies away. So what I'm going to do is cut it just as the bird looks back at the camera. Just a nice touch, I think, rather than it flying off. I like that sort of thing myself, but it's going to take up so much time. And that's the object here, isn't it? Trying to make it as short as possible. So a nice little touch, bird looking back at the camera, that's where I'm going to finish. There's another bit where I continued on waffling on, try and get some photo. And I really don't think it's necessary to keep it. So I'm going to take that whole part out, shortening our video even more. Even though what I was talking about wasn't bad, it's quite nice, but I've run through it really, been honest with myself, I don't really need to keep it in. So we're going to take it out. Now, you understand about looking for potential pieces to cut out and to shorten the video. Now it's time to neaten up our video. There's another way that we can save on some time here. Now I make little noises, little clicks and pops and, as I'm swallowing, stuff like that. And they annoy the crap out of me. So I cut them out if I possibly can. But you'll be amazed how much time that can save when you're cutting out over the whole entire video. There's the odd day where, I make some weird noises. Everybody does. I hear it on all the big channels. They leave them in. Thomas Heaton, all them sort of people, they leave those noises in. Me, I hate them. But we can cut them out because they're only a couple of frames. No one's going to notice it. It's just that little click. And I'm enlarging my audio as much as possible. I want to see the waves. And this comes from experience of working in Adobe Audition, cleaning up our voice in there. What is an obvious click noise and other weird noises, you get used to that as you go along. Seeing what noises look like, all of a sudden it becomes natural to you. Picking out straight away, saving some time, that click, that bit of horrible noise that you'll want to cut out. Then there's another thing that we can do here to flash up our video. Now, as I'm talking, I'm telling a story. Now, to save time, I like to overlap a video on top. So if I'm talking about a bird nesting, building a nest, I can actually overlay that over the cut that I've made to hide the cut, or just to actually continue telling the story, keep it flowing, and takes our video to a whole new level as well by showing the viewers what I'm actually talking about. Now there's something else that I'm looking for while I'm doing this with the overlays, cleaning up this video. You'll see gaps in between me talking. So when we blow up our timeline so we can see better, those gaps are quite large sometimes, but it makes a big difference as well when you're considering we're taking out lots of other stuff. That all adds to it. So you've got an overlap with a video or a photograph. Look for those gaps, shorten them, make sure that it doesn't sound bad though when you replay it. All those gaps, going through them all, if you can possibly cut them out, it does make a big difference with time. So we're polishing up our video and we're making it shiny. We just go over the whole lot time and time again. You'll get sick of the video. I do. I hate it in the end and I'm doubting myself whether I should put it up. I'm not happy with it. But what we do is we finish, we walk away, we go for a walk out in the bush, and hopefully we don't find another bit of footage to put on like I've done here. and muck it all up for us. We clear our minds, we're just out in the bush having a bit of fun. We come back, we sit down, we have another look, go over it. Okay, I'm happy, put it on YouTube, something like that. So there you go, this is what I do to get my videos onto YouTube with a decent time on them that'll hopefully keep people entertained and watch my video right the way through. So I hope you got something out of this. I'm sure you did. And yeah, if you'd like to go and subscribe to my channel and get more of this amazing stuff, click on my pretty little face just down here in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And if you want to go and have a look at all the other things I've been doing over the years, click on my icon right here at the end of this video. There's hundreds of videos to choose from there. I do these sort of things. I talk about photographing, filming in a forest environment with birds and animals. Talk about my passion, the Agile Antechnius. When I go on adventures, I take you with me. And occasionally, I do camera reviews and camera accessory reviews. So go and have a browse. There'll be something there of interest to you, I am sure. And just remember, if you don't do, don't get. So get out there and start photographing and filming wildlife. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.